Hello everybody, we have another challenge here and a new opening, the Pirc defense. And now, second move, c6. Now this move, I'm really not familiar with, but I'll just pretend it's a normal Pirc defense. I will just develop Queen c7. This is the really careful approach, and I think the most, let's say, principled way to continue for white here would be to play as aggressively as possible. So okay, e5. So at the moment black has no developed pieces. I'm really wondering what he's trying to do here. So I'm basically considering two options, either to play knight f3 immediately, or first to try to capture an e5 and only then play knight f3. Must say that both options looks quite tempting. Let's develop, let's play knight f3. I want to keep the tension in the center in general. Now let's play bishop e3. Once again, in all of those positions I can always take on e5, but that allows him, after he recaptures the pawn, to develop his bishop. So this is why I try to keep the tension. I think it would be in my favor. Now in the last move I also gained the bishop pair advantage. And yeah, generally I feel like white's position should be much better here. I'm not really seeing what black has in compensation for white's bishop's pair and a very firm control in the center. He went for long castle. Let me do the same. Now I made long castle, and on the next move, oh, f6. Yeah, this guy is definitely playing with fire. Now with this last move f6, he's blocking his natural development of the knight to f6, and also he puts now all of his pawns on dark squares, so it's making this bishop on f8 a really useless piece. He now cannot move from any direction. But I must say that his position is very solid. You have no big weaknesses, so it's kind of difficult for me to take advantage of his mistakes. Now once again I have a couple of possibilities. I can just play the bishop to c4, trying to develop it to a good square. I can also expand on the king side. I think that's what I will do. Black is extremely cramped here, so I think it makes a lot of sense for me to grab as much space as I can. b5. Now this is a surprising move, at least for me, because in general it's not very advisable to move the pawns on the side in which your king stays on. It's a very risky approach by him. Now the first thing which comes to mind is to play the pawn to d5, emphasizing the fact that he played b5 in order, with the point that if he takes on d5 I have this nice outpost with the knight. But he has this intermediate move b4. That's why I'm not so sure if I really want to do it. I can also just ignore what he's doing, just play some useful move like king b1. King b1 is also always a useful move in this type of long castle position. Let's just do it. I think it's maybe not the strongest move, but it's a very practical and easy solution. The king is now completely safe on b1, he's protecting the pawn on a2 for some cases, and he's just going on with his let's say suspicious expansion on the king side, on the queen side rather. Yeah, so his game plan is very strange to me. I think I'll just ignore him. Let me just keep expanding. I don't really consider b4 to be any threat, so now I played king to b7. Now, okay, king b7 is a bit provocative. Now I actually think the move d5 should be very strong, because that way I'm opening up the game, and maybe I'll manage to set up a strong outpost with my knight on d5. So let's play d5. Now the difference is that now I can take with c6 with a check. This is something I could not do before. Now I have a pleasant choice. I can play knight d5 immediately. I can also insert bishop takes f6 first. Okay, I have a small trick. Let me first take on e5. So now I'm using the spin on the rook, so he cannot recapture with the d pawn. He has to recapture this way. So this way I am giving myself some options to play queen f7 at the opportune moment. Immediately queen f7 he can just block with the bishop or with the knight, so I don't think I gain something special by this. But I think now I will take the knight. So I just want to get my knight on d5 with no interruptions. So now, in whatever way he takes my bishop back, I'm going to put a very solid knight on d5. And it would be a very big cause of headaches for him, that's for sure. And also the fact that he is weakened his king side, his king position, with the moves b5 and moving the c pawn also doesn't helping a whole too much. Yeah, king takes. And now the obvious move is knight d5, so let's do it. And now my next move, he played his king to b7. Now I really much like to play the move rook d3. So my idea is to attack his queen on c6 with a gain of tempo. Yeah, let's just do it, it seems so strong. Also this guy is playing extremely fast, so I really don't think it's a very smart idea from him. Once again, this 10+5 or like long classical games on lichess, you have relatively long time to think, so I don't see any good reason to play so fast. Now I've moved this queen from c6, so now my move rook c3 doesn't come with a tempo anymore. Okay, now I have a couple of nice possibilities. I can play rook c3, threatening rook c7, and then he's most likely will defend with the rook on c8. I think I'm seeing a forced win from this position. Let me check. That's a tricky variation to calculate, but yeah, I'm seeing a forced win, so I will just do it. So now I think he has to play rook c8 in order to defend from rook c7. I don't see any other ways to do so. And my idea is to exchange the rooks and then penetrate with the queen on f7. This is precisely the reason that I've taken on e5 earlier, to have this possibility. And now once again I will check whether I'm really winning. Yeah, seems like I win. So rook takes rook. He has to take. And then I will just penetrate with my queen on f7. And now he cannot block with the queen because this is dropping his bishop on f8. Yeah, now my idea was to simply play knight b6 here, followed by knight d7 check, and to take his bishop. Simple as that. But now when I reach this position, I'm having some second thoughts. Maybe I can even play for more. Maybe I can play rook h3, doing the same rook maneuver to c3, and trying to play for checkmate. That's also a very possible strategy. Yes, but I'm getting a bit low on time, so I think I will just try to grab material. This is a kind of a human approach, so when you feel like your attack is not going to be enough to win, you just try to grab some material and to be safe with your advantage. Okay, queen d8. Now I can play knight d7 check immediately, or I can I can actually also first play queen takes f8 and then knight d7 check. I think both are equally good, so it doesn't really matter. I think at this point, I think knight d7 is slightly more, let's say, slightly more aggressive, because I want to keep the queens on the board for now, because his king is so weakened that actually keeping the queens on the board should favor me. Okay, now I can just take his bishop, but I actually have another nice possibility. Once again, just to play rook h3 followed by rook c3 to play for some checkmating attack. Yeah, I think it's nicer. Let's play rook h3. Once again, taking the bishop was just winning immediately, but I've decided to entertain you slightly more. So now the variation goes queen takes. So now he's allowing me to checkmate him, which is nice. Now his king has to go to b7. Yeah, but then I'm just having a crushing attack. I always find it funny how people prefer to get checkmated or get under some very strong attack rather than giving up some material. I really find it kind of amusing. So now black is getting checkmated very quickly. His king is just completely alone in the attack against my attack. Yeah, so he's deciding to get checkmated on the board. I already understood that people don't like to resign here, but I have no problem giving a checkmate. Yeah, finally he resigned. I think it was a very nice game. Maybe I'm kind of wondering if I play the most accurate way. So yeah, actually at this point computer is already giving me almost a +1 advantage. Yeah. So now his moves are kind of completely only making himself more and more weaknesses. And I think from here, yeah, I found all the strongest moves. Knight d5 and rook d3 is the strongest move. Yep, and queen f7. Oh, not the strongest move. So actually the computer thinks that I should play queen f2 and rook h3. Look how he just wants to play for checkmate with rook c3 and queen b6, just going for that poor king on b8. This is legitimate. I just saw a possibility to play for... Oh, yeah, I didn't see that one. I missed this intermediate move, knight h6. Damn it. Okay, he didn't saw it, but had he seen it, it would be kind of sad, because it would kind of get my let my most of my advantage slip. Yes, but this is a blitz rhythm game. It's actually kind of difficult, easy to miss such moves. Yeah, rook h3, and now, yeah, this is already a forced checkmate. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to subscribe and to share the video if you liked it. Tell me in the comments below if you want to add anything or to change something in the format of the videos. Thank you for watching, everybody. See you next time. Goodbye.